So you're shopping for a drummer for Christmas. Maybe it's your girlfriend, your boyfriend, a friend, a family member, and you don't know what to get them. In this video, I'm going to be giving you the top 7 gift ideas for drummers. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Hello everyone and welcome to Worship Drumming, and as you can tell, it's Christmas time and today we're talking about gift ideas. I'm going to go ahead and give you 2 quick disclaimers. First disclaimer is I am in no way endorsed by any of these companies to talk about any of these products. Disclaimer number 2, drumming is not cheap. So when shopping for some of these drum items, you may notice that they're a little bit more expensive than the typical gift that you would buy someone. No need to worry, I have lots of things on this list that are going to be under $50. So starting with the first thing is music. If you're shopping for a drummer, they probably like music. Just buying them an iTunes gift card, some sort of CD, would just be a great way to give them something. I'm not going to put a price with music just because really it can cost just about anything. So now let's go ahead and move on to something that pertains to a drum kit, and that is a drum key. Now these things are very, very cheap, $5 to $8, and when you spend $5 you get like 1 of these. When you spend $8 you get like 4 of these. So obviously you want to go ahead and spend that extra $3 to get the extra ones. So what these are used for, acoustic drummers use these to tune their drums so they can get that sound that they're going for. Electronic drummers use these to put together their drum kits and also tighten and loosen the tension in their drum heads. Every acoustic set will need a drum key. Most electronic drum sets will also use a drum key. The cool thing is these are universal, so you don't have to worry about sizes or getting a certain brand. They're super cheap, really inexpensive. Drummers love having these because they're always losing these. I used to have 3 of these and now I'm struggling just to keep track of this one. Next thing you might want to buy a drummer is obviously some drumsticks. Now I kind of want to break down some of the different parts of what you're looking for when you buy a drumstick and kind of give you some different ideas. Every time I go to Guitar Center, I always get a different drumstick usually when I'm there. I try out new drumsticks just to see how they feel, see which ones I like. So if you have a relatively new drummer, you can't really go wrong with buying a drumstick just because it will give them something new to see if they like it or not. And they're pretty inexpensive. For a pair like this is probably about, I can't remember how much I paid for these, maybe like $10. But you can get just like a normal wooden pair for $6. Most that I've seen like a single pair for is like $20, but that's just because there's some whole special thing. And by the way, I'm getting all these prices from Amazon. And when you get closer up there to that $30 mark, that's when you're like buying bundles of drumsticks. Back to the drumsticks here. Notice that mine has this red coating on the end, and this is not paint. This is like a rubber paint that they put on this stick. It helps to stick in my hand better, so that way it's not like sliding while I'm playing. I find it real nice. I don't think it helps a whole super lot, but I think it's awesome. Also, sometimes you'll see them, they have this color at the end, but sometimes it's not this rubber. It's really just paint, and so sometimes that can be a good thing or a bad thing. I've played with a pair of drumsticks that where the entire thing was painted. The paint had this really weird finish over it that was really slick, so when your hands got sweaty, the drumstick would like fly out of your hand, and I know that from experience. So you can get all different sorts of cool colors. And then the tips here, this is just a standard wooden tip. They also have nylon tips, which is just like a plastic sort of tip. They also come in different shapes and sizes also, but really not too big of a deal, the tips. The thing that you might want to be more interested is the size of the stick. The size of the stick is really just the width of this here. This will also affect how big the drum tip is also. Most people use a 5/8 drumstick. That's what these are, and that's what you're going to see a lot whenever you go shopping for drumsticks is 5/8. All that is just referring to the size. A 5B is a little thicker, and a 5C is even thicker than a 5B. And then there's also like 7As, and just realize that it's kind of the length of the stick and also the thickness of it. The length of the stick doesn't really matter. If you have a new drummer, just go ahead and buy like whatever sticks you want just so they can get used to different ones. But if you have a drummer that swears by a drumstick, I'd go ahead and buy them those just because they're likely to break the pair they have or maybe even lose a stick. And one last thing I want to say, I do really like Vic Firth drumsticks. I know you can't really see the logo because I've worn it out using these so much. Vic Firth is really good. I like the way it feels in my hand. It feels like the perfect weight and gives me the perfect amount of bounce. Moving on, now we have something that I love and I think is really cool, which is a practice pad. Drummers use this because they practice a thing called rudiments, which is a sticking pattern with your hands. You can practice that on your acoustic set, but that's going to get really loud and annoying after a while, especially with all the work that goes into getting these down and nailing them. Practice pad is a really cool thing because it's really quiet, hardly makes any noise at all, and it's not going to disrupt all the family in the house. Let me give you an idea of just how quiet it is. I'll hit it with the drumstick here. You can just... And so this is a nice rubber here. This is the Evans Real Feel one. These range from about $20 to $70. This one was $30, and this is a 12-inch. So, you know, 12-inch by 12-inch. They do make cheaper ones that are like $20, but those are half the size of this. They're only like 6-inch or 8-inch pads. So this one I really like. This one's really durable, and this rubber here is nice and glued on there. It's not coming off unless you intentionally try to get under it and peel it off. I've been throwing this thing around. I've had it on my floor. I've walked all over it. And there's no signs of it like wearing down. Even this logo is still pretty nice up here. Yeah, it gets a little dirty, but not too bad. So you got this rubber side and sort of this plastic side. But like I said, this thing's really durable. It's not going to break, and it's a really good thing to invest in. The reason some of these can be up to $70 is just because this is made to sit on a snare drum stand. So sometimes they'll sell it with the snare drum stand, and so all it just sits on the snare drum stand so you can sit there and play it more comfortably. You can sit and play it as if you're playing an actual snare drum. I don't have a snare stand for mine. If you're buying for an acoustic drummer, they have a snare stand that they can put this on. An electronic drummer probably doesn't have a snare stand. It's very rare to find an electronic drum set sometimes that has a snare stand on it. I just sit on the floor and play mine. I absolutely love it. It's just a really good way and a quiet way to practice. Moving on now to things that are a little bit more expensive. Now we're going to start getting really pricey with some of this stuff, and that is kick pedals. So I know that this is a single kick pedal, but I really want to talk about double kick pedals. But double kick pedals can range anywhere between $80 all the way up to $300. You spend more than $300, I think it's getting a little ridiculous. All this is designed to do is to hit your bass drum. And so a double kick pedal, and I'll show you a picture later. At the end of the video, I'm going to get on Amazon and show you a picture of everything that I talked about and some of the things I talked about but didn't have to show you. So all a double kick pedal has is right here is a bar would stick out, and it would attach to another pedal, and that pedal controls a beater head here. So this pedal would control this one, and then you have another beater head that a pedal over here would control, mainly used for rock or heavy metal drumming. So that works for acoustic sets. Also electronic sets can use double kick pedals. Every electronic drum set that I know of can accommodate a double kick pedal. Moving on now to the next thing is buying them a new sort of drum maybe that they don't have or they haven't played before. So this can really range anywhere between $30 all the way up to $800. Obviously you probably don't want to be spending too much around that $800 price point at all and really spend a lot lower on it if you're buying them a new drum they haven't played before. And what I mean when I say a new drum that they don't have is like a conga drum or bongo drums or a cajon. And the one I really want to talk about is a cajon because that's the more popular one that people buy as a gift. A cajon is mainly just like a box that you sit on. In the middle of it's got a nice bass sound, and then up in the corner of the box there's a snare sound. I think they're really cool and awesome to play. I've only played one live, but I have practiced on them a few times. I personally don't have one, and that's honestly what I'm hoping to get for Christmas this year. But you can spend $100 and get a nice cajon without sacrificing the quality of it. Anything lower than like $80 for a cajon, I would not buy. So the last thing I want to talk about, obviously what you might want to consider getting a drummer is a drum set. And I'm not going to put a price, and I'm not going to talk about any specific ones. But I will tell you that I have two other videos just like this one. One is gifts for electronic drummers, the other one's gifts for acoustic drummers. And in each of those videos, I talk about the best drum set to get for your specific situation. A lot of factors play into when you're buying a drum set. Is it going to be electric or acoustic? Is it for a beginner, an intermediate, a professional? How serious are they about playing the drums? Have they ever played the drums ever before in their life? It's really just a whole lot of variables that tie into it. So anyways, that's the top 7 gifts to get drummers. You can go ahead and click away now. If you want a little bit more detail on some of the things that I talked about, I'm going to go ahead and get on Amazon and show you guys sort of the things that you want to be looking for when shopping. Okay guys, so here we are at Amazon.com. I want to go ahead and apologize for the quality of this video. I'm just recording my laptop screen with my phone, so I know everything isn't like super perfect for you guys right now. But I cannot record my phone screen or my laptop screen while talking over it. I don't want to record it and then try to add voice over it later, just because one, that's sort of a hassle, and two, I think it's better if we just do this in real time and help you guys out a little bit more. Let's go ahead and search some of the things I talked about today. So the first one is drum keys. Let's see what comes up. And this first one right here is what I was looking at earlier. We have 3 drum keys, and this is also a drum key. It's like a speed handle drum key. As you can see, sort of what it's used here for. This is a screw right here, and so when you're switching the drum heads on your acoustic drums, this screw sometimes takes a while to get back in, especially when you're using these little things right here, doing just little half turns at a time. So using this to just quickly get it in there, and then these to tighten it down, is a much better way to go about changing your drum heads. I wouldn't necessarily say for tuning purposes. So someone who maybe has an electronic drum set, the speed handle isn't as important, but I mean, you can still buy it in this bundle. It's $8. So that's why I would buy it, is just because it's only $8. And notice, actually, let me show you real quick before we move on. So notice down here, this is like this Yamaha one, and it's $5, and all you're getting is this single drum key. And the only reason I think it's $5 is just because it's the Yamaha brand. And really, it doesn't matter, because like, look, up here, this is about $8. You get 2 drum keys, a speed handle, but this one's obviously the better deal to $8, and you get 3 drum keys and the speed handle. And also Prime shipping, which is a huge plus. And that's really what I look for, though, on Amazon. I'm really biased about the Prime shipping just because I like it. So let's do a general search for drumsticks. And so as you can already see, we got 5A, 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 5A. Yeah, just a whole bunch of 5A drumsticks, and that's why I said it's really the one that a lot of people use. That's why it's going to be the most popular, especially just doing this general search on drumsticks. As you can see, there's like this 5B here. All that really is, I used to own this pair of drumsticks till the other drummer at my church broke them. And that's not dissing on the quality of these. They were really nice sticks. It's just that he played really, really hard. He hit it on the edge of one of the electronic pads and like sliced the tip of it clean off. But I did really like these while I had them. And all I could say about it is that this was a little thicker. It didn't really bother me a whole lot. I don't think it will bother new drummers or anything. Just know that your 5A is really what you want to go for. And I don't see any Vic Firths here, so I'm going to go ahead and add that onto this. You can see it's $10 for that pair, about $9 for this pair. Now it is more expensive. Here's about $9 for this pair also. It is more expensive, but I will tell you that it is definitely worth it just to even get one pair of these. I do really like the Vic Firth drumsticks. Let's go ahead and move on now. I think we just do a general search for practice pad, if I could spell. Practice pad. Here we have one, and this one is a good example of what to look out for. So this picture looks like it comes with, you know, the snare stand. You can see it sitting on a snare stand, and it has this pair of sticks sitting over it. Well, if you look over here, it says sticks and stand not, and I bet if we click on this, yeah, sticks and stand not included. And so they're just kind of trying to make it look like you're going to get more with it, but really you're just getting that pad. Here's the one I have right here for $31. It's a 12-inch practice pad. This is the one I really like. I really enjoy it. You can see this one here is about $21. Notice here it's an 8-inch pad, and it's kind of got this rim on it, which I don't like, but you know, other people might like it. I'm not sure. This one is $20, and it's 12 inches. I haven't tried this, and look, this one even does come with drumsticks, even though it doesn't show it. This is just like the one I have, but notice it's a 6-inch pad and it's $20. Any of these things would really work. I just don't prefer the rim to it, but if you want to get them the rim, I mean, it really doesn't matter. It's just my personal preference, honestly. Let's search the little bass pedals here. And you can see the first thing that pops up is this $80 one. Just off first glance, it looks like this board right here, which is where your foot rests on. It's a little shorter than normal. But as you can see down here, just how expensive some of these are. Yeah, here's one for like $200. And I will admit, DW is quality whenever you're buying equipment. I would go with DW. But $200 is getting really pricey for some double kick pedals. Like, look at this. Like, who's going to spend $450? I don't know. I don't get why this is so much better than this pair of DWs right here. They're both the same brand. Maybe that layer of paint cost a whole lot of money and I just don't know it. So anyways, that's just kick pedals in general, double kick pedals, really nice. It's what a lot of people want. It's just that they're super expensive, as you can see. So let's go ahead and move on now to the next thing we talked about, which is getting them a new drum. And I talked about the Cajon a lot. So let me go ahead and type that in. And so now Cajon's range, like you can see, this one right here is $400. And this one right here is $100. This one over here is $70. I would not go with the $70 option. I would spend the extra $30 and get a little bit more quality. And you can see this one here has got a video with it, so you can watch it, really get how it sounds. But I wouldn't buy anything under like $80 for a Cajon. This one, I've played one similar to this, and I think it was okay. Yeah, it was pretty good. And so, as I was saying earlier, all a Cajon is right here in this middle. When you hit that with your hand, you get a nice bass noise. There's actually a hole in the back of this thing where like the noise kind of travels out of. And so you hit here and you get like sort of a bass drum noise. And then up here in the corner, you get more of a snare drum noise. So the insides of these are built differently, and that's why the price is like such a dramatic difference. Like, so this one right here, when you hit it, it's kind of got like a cross wire from each corner. And so you'll get sort of a bass noise, but also a little bit of a rattle from the snare. And then when you get up here, you'll just get straight solid snare noise. This one right here, probably when you hit the middle of it, you're going to get nothing but a bass noise. And then up here, you're going to get nothing but a snare noise. And then you got some in-betweens. Same here, you probably got some in-betweens. But just notice that Meinl is a good brand to buy from. LP, the only really Cajon that I've played that I remember playing is an LP. And that one was really nice, and surprisingly this one's only $85. Don't know how much I would really trust that. Oh, and here's something interesting that I didn't really talk about, but this goes with pedals and Cajons. So if you got someone who plays a Cajon, you can actually get this thing right here, and this is like a Cajon kick pedal, and it's like hooked up to this wire. It is kind of expensive, as you can see. So while you're sitting on your Cajon, you can use this to hit the bass part of it. And this is mainly for like if you're sitting on your Cajon and you have other drum components in front of you other than your Cajon. And so lastly, I'm just going to do a general search for drum kits. So you can see this one right here is full size adult 5-piece kit. And it looks like it's missing a few things. Notice it's only got like a crash cymbal and some hats. And then right here, $300, you got like this Alesis kit. And so I kind of want to leave you off. We'll talk about these two things right here. So I'm going to do a video about things to buy acoustic drummers, and at the end of that video, I'm going to talk about what acoustic kits you might want to buy. And just know that if you don't watch my other videos, and this is the only one you watch, I just want you to know that right here, like what you see might look all cool and everything like that, but you really want to check the quality of these and really do reviews. Notice it's only got one cymbal. Most drum kits, you have your hats, a crash cymbal, and then also a ride cymbal. And if you're shopping for electronic drums, do not buy. I would just recommend, in very rare cases would I buy this right here. But I do not recommend buying a drum kit under $500. If it's an electronic drum kit, I would not spend under $500. Because this right here may look all cool and fancy, but honestly, this thing's just a piece of garbage unless you're buying this for a brand new drummer and it's someone that's trying to see if they will like drums or not. But if you're buying this as a gift for someone who's already a drummer, I definitely do not recommend this. Or if someone's already into drums and they just want a drum set, I would not recommend this either, because this thing is like definitely known to break, and this Alesis brand isn't really, it's popular, but it's popular for all the wrong reasons. I'm going to leave you guys there with that, and we'll go ahead and wrap this video up. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please go ahead and subscribe below if you're interested in more content like we saw today, and I will see you guys in the next video.